very important for my artwork in music is that I think of an audience. I mean, I don't play music just for the sake of playing music or for myself. It's really addressed to somebody. My art is published in different contexts. Recordings are published like CDs. The CD market is pretty poor at the moment. Online presentations have become more important. But for me, the nicest platform is the live performance, which is just happening for the people being there. Any documentation about the live performance of my projects has to tell its own story. So I like projects which speak at the moment when you are there. This is one of the reasons why for the telematic concerts we don't put a stream online, because the result of two places put together on one stream is kind of like collapsing the whole thing you try to establish. You get those two spaces and with this interaction, and then you kind of project it all on one two-dimensional screen. I could imagine a documentation which has its own format and which works with the filmatic material we create as we play the concert. So what we usually do is we record every camera signal we send. We stream to the United States and they do the same thing, and we've got one additional person filming excerpts, and then the whole thing is cut like a film. It's very special to have an audience on both sides, because if you're sitting in the audience and you know that another audience with 9 hours time difference is hearing the same music, is looking at a different setup on stage, but hearing exactly the same music, that makes you think as you are watching the concert. And it puts the audience in a much more active state. And what we usually do is at the end we turn the cameras and the audience of Zurich looks at the audience of New York or San Diego. I've been programming a festival for 6 years, and I was always hesitating when people were asking me what kind of audience are you programming for? Because if you're aiming at or targeting at an audience, it always narrows your view on what you do. If you're targeting an audience, very defined audience, you will be measured by this small audience, and it might be a hit, but it might as well go completely wrong. Of course, if you have big audiences of 5,000 people, then the whole setup has to be different. But basically, I'm looking at something that speaks, but I try not to define my audience. If you're playing in front of 50 people, 100 people, 200 people in a small theater, you feel the audience, and I think you find out of the moment, you find out how much you have to add to invite those people. The big step is to get people to the concert. Once they are there, you're responsible for them, and you try to find out. And so you might add something, you might say something extra, you might change a piece. Sometimes I change the order of pieces when I feel like, oh, now it's kind of dragging a little bit. so I throw in another piece. You have to have that flexibility, like a cook, you know.